Hi everyone, it's Nanette from Nanette Kruger Metal Art and the Metal Embossing Academy in New Zealand. And it's my absolute joy and pleasure to introduce you to Anna Mollekin today. So we started doing a collaboration, was it about 3 weeks ago that I contacted you, Anna?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, roughly. And so I saw Anna's beautiful drawings on a Facebook group called New Zealand Made Products. Fell in love with the designs, reached out, and yeah, she was very happy to do the collab with me. And we're so excited about how this all turned out. So Anna, tell us a bit more about your design. It's just gorgeous, your homegrown lace.
Oh, thank you. Well, like a lot of people that live in New Zealand, I'm just so in love with our country. It's beauty. From our birds and sort of natural landscape to the people that live here are just amazing. And so that piece, Homegrown, I think I drew it in December of 2018. And I actually drew it at, why it's so special, I drew it at one of my most happy places in the world. So it's a place called Port Charles up in the Coromandel Peninsula, and I'm very fortunate to be able to stay up there most holidays. And at low tide, you can walk around the rocks to this little nestled spot I found under this giant Hurikawa tree. And it's full with tui birds, wood pigeons, all sorts of native birds. So you're constantly hearing them chirping away, and it looks straight out at the bay, and it's nestled under the foot of sort of Mount Moeha. So it's the most stunning view. So I sat under there, literally started with a blank bit of paper, but I had the view for inspiration and the birds chirping in my ear, and that piece was born out of that. And I have a very active mind. I'm a person that suffers from anxiety. So the intricate details are very mindful for me. And so I love the thing of lace and, you know, the whole scenario of your life is a fabric woven, every part sort of connects. So that's sort of my, you know, the patterns come out of me organically, but the lace is sort of like the tapestry of your life, those sorts of notions.
Oh, I love that. It's interesting what you say about the tapestries. We had a women's group sometime during last year. And one of the ladies really loved doing tapestries and intricate crochet work and whatever. And so this day she rocked up there with a tapestry, but she showed us the back side. And if you've looked at it at the back of a tapestry, it's all knots and it looks very messy. There's no detail. You can't see the picture. And she said, sometimes when we get stuck in life, you feel like you can only see the back of the tapestry. But it's only once you've moved on through the journey and eventually you can look back that you can see the beauty of it. And I love that. I love the fact how you say you've got an active mind, and doing all those, drawing the intricate details really calms you. Because I find for myself as well, meditating is one of the hardest things for me, to just be quiet. I can be quiet while doing my art. That's when my mind slows down. But when I'm just sitting, it's like literally a million miles a minute in all sorts of directions. And so for me too, my art is my way of sort of centering and calming. So I love that. Beautiful.
Exactly what it's like for me, yeah. I'm what you call an active relaxer. So if I was to watch a movie, but no, my kids and my family don't like watching movies. I either use it as a time to fall asleep on the couch, or I am on my phone checking Instagram, or I might then get up and think I need to do the kitchen and start cleaning. Like I just can't. Yeah, I might use it as a sleep time or active relaxer.
Yeah, same. So my family gets so annoyed with me, especially my little boy. He's 10 now, and we always have Friday night is movie night. But I'm the same. So then I'll get distracted with a message. Well, I'll actually sit and crochet in front of the TV, just to be, I don't know, just to be relaxed but still be busy. It's the weirdest.
Exactly.
It's I know a lot of artists, they listen to series instead of watching it. They listen, they follow the whole story, but they've never seen, they don't even know what the actors look like.
Exactly. I'm the same. I used to do a lot of knitting, so I always knit.
Oh,
but
good.
My husband said I was quite a mean knitter. Because, there's a lot of counting, because I do a lot of like cable work, and so I'd always been counting and like needing to know where my stitch was at.
It's so funny. So I see that you love traveling. Any favorite places you've been to?
I love traveling, and two places seem to mind. I would love to do a lot more traveling when the situation sort of arises again. I absolutely adored India. I fell in love with this little town there called Alwar. I think it's about 2.5 hours from Delhi. And it is so beautiful. I met the most amazing people. It was just so different to what I was used to here in New Zealand. But it introduced me to a world of colour. And a lot of us Kiwis are sort of, well, I'm doing it right now. I'm wearing grey and black and I need to inject more colour back into it. But we love our blacks and greys. But when I went to India, everyone had the most amazing colours and like, you know, all their scarves and then you go into the markets from all the spices and beautiful. Oh, it was just, I just loved it. And then I saw that I loved all the monkeys around and just all the wildlife. It's just so beautiful. And another place that is near and dear to my heart is China. Wow. And I lived there for a year with my family. And I call it a sabbatical. And we followed, my husband was working there in a placement. So we lived in a small town. Well, it's called a small town called Shalwan, but the population's larger than New Zealand. Yeah, so Shalwan was amazing. It was completely non-English speaking, except we were very fortunate that our neighbours were from northern China, and Owen and Lillian spoke English, and because of the local dialect, they found it hard to understand the locals as well. So we forged an amazing friendship. They were the same age, and they had a little boy the same age as our youngest daughter, so they became best friends. And so Lillian and Owen, it was amazing. We had the best time, and they showed us around, and I met, again, so many amazing people. And what I loved about it is being so different from New Zealand, it taught me a lot about myself as well. And you have a way, like, you know, growing up in New Zealand, we're used to things a certain way, and that's all we've known. And when you go to a different country and they do things differently, i.e. cutting a pineapple, I was standing, there was a pineapple and I was in the kitchen and I whacked it up how we, you know, cut all the sides off and thing. And Lillian was mind blown. She's like, I've never seen anybody cut a pineapple like that before. And then in the markets there, they had a beautiful gadget that goes around the edge of the pineapple and makes a beautiful pattern. And then she said they soak it, I think, in salt or some sort of solution to take away the bit that cut your mouth.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, amazing. So she was mind blown that I just eat it, you know, and so that's how she told me, if you soak it, then you won't get the cut mouth. So you just learn so much from each other.
That's the thing. It's so we're from South Africa. We've been living here since 2016, and traveling just broadens your horizons. It just expands you as a person, and I absolutely love it. And I am. Actually, before we came here, I said to my husband, I need an adventure. So before we came, I just turned 40, and it was like, right, this is the next chapter. It's like a new beginning. And just before lockdown, actually, I said to him, oh my word, I've got that, you know, that buzz. You need to move, you need to explore, I need to travel. And then lockdown happened. So I'm very excited for everything to open up again and to go and explore some new places. And it's interesting. So you mentioned India and China. And so the thing I miss about Africa is, again, that thing, the color. It's like an explosion of color and flavors, and there's like a very energetic heartbeat in Africa. And when we first moved to New Zealand, I loved the calm. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. Everything's green. There's no ugly place in New Zealand. It's just, the nature is just astounding. And the place where we came from in South Africa was a very industrial little town, right in the heart of the country. So lots of industries, lots of pollution, really not a pretty place to be from. So I just open arms embraced New Zealand and the bushwalks and the beach and everything. But having been here for almost 5 years now, it does seem to get, you settle into a certain way of life, and we get accustomed to things and the way that they're done here. But yeah, I miss that energetic, I don't know, the color explosion.
Exactly. And like you mentioned, when you are in a country that is quite different from your own, every day is like an adventure. It was a major event when we lived in China to go to the post office and work out how to post a letter.
Yeah.
But you felt like a kid again because you didn't know the process, you didn't know how to do it. It's different, and it just felt so neat. Every day you learned something new and a different thing, and just so far out, and it was just amazing. Or you'd discover, walk down the street and then you'd look up and there would be something so different. Just that discovery of new things, it's just so beyond inspiring, and I just loved it. The different, literally different smells, different foods. I just love it. I just love it so much.
Oh, that's gorgeous. So it seems to me like the way you're speaking, that you're a lifelong learner, that you get a kick out of learning new things. And I wonder if it's an artist thing.
You are so right. I say, I always say you can never stop learning. You always learn. And that's just keep moving forward and just keep learning. I mean, I like to be a sponge. I studied probably different things until I was about 30, and then I was going to take on sort of a print management to learn how to sort of run a design print shop, because I won a scholarship. But it just got to a point where I was like, with my young family, I was like, I just can't keep studying to that level. So I did finish doing that. But in terms of, I'm always doing tutorials, I've signed up to Skillshare, I connect with amazing people like yourself. I just love learning and evolving and talking, and so finding out things I don't know. I'm a why person. I need to know why, how, when, and then you make mistakes, and that's how you learn. But I like to find out why it happened, and then I learn. And so I don't see mistakes as a bad thing as such, but I just always, you analyze what happened and then you grow from it.
That's it. I'm white exactly the same. So if my friends laugh at me, because even when I'm working around the house, making beds or doing laundry or whatever, I always have my headphones in and I'm listening to different podcasts. So whether it's art podcasts or languages or business or whatever, I'm constantly plugging in and learning, and I get such a kick out of it.
That's exactly what I do. I listen to podcasts and audiobooks as well.
Yeah.
So because I don't have much time to read, I've turned to podcasts like you, and the books, the audiobooks, sorry. And then you can always learn. And so when I was working at my old job, a lot of people listen to music, but I was listening to podcasts, and I was listening to Gary Vee, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, or like all of those sorts of motivating things. And as an artist, depending on what project I was working on, obviously if I was doing documents or text, I need to concentrate or write, so I can't listen to audiobooks. But when I'm doing things like Photoshop or drawing, I can quite easily sponge in this knowledge as I go.
No, absolutely. And it's the same for me, because I love listening to positive motivational topics, because it determines your internal paradigm, and I think it affects the way that you go back into the world, and the energy and the positivity that you radiate, and just the way you present yourself to the world. And it's very important for me. It's crucial what I listen to. But yeah, it's the same thing for me. So sometimes I'll be sitting doing my art and I'll be listening to music in the background, but most of the time it's something where I'm constantly learning. So I think I'm actually training my brain to be very distracted. I think with meditating.
Yeah, we sound very similar. Every morning, my husband and I, at first he didn't quite like, because I put on also YouTube motivational speakers, particularly in the morning. That's how we start off every morning, with a motivational speaker or something of that sort of note. And at first my husband was like, oh, what's she doing? But now he's gained so much knowledge and perspective, and it really does set your mindset for the day, because mindset is everything. And if I stop listening to these things, I do notice a shift in my head space. So I know, as a person that suffers from anxiety, I have to work continually on keeping myself in the right level. I don't know if that's weird, but in the right zone, and so I can achieve. Otherwise, fear creeps up, and then I paralyze myself, and I can't do anything.
No, it's absolutely true. And I've learned to love mistakes. I've really learned to just embrace them, and I call them happy mistakes, because sometimes with my art even, I'll be experimenting with something, it'll go completely awry, but then the end result is actually quite stunning. And I've found that the pieces that are imperfect for me is actually the thing that connects to my clientele more. It's the stuff they like more. So I just embrace it now. You always learn.
Exactly. It's like in my work, because it's quite detailed. And I was like, oh, it's got to be perfect, this and that. But then like you, I said, imperfection is perfection.
Yeah.
So it's those little imperfections that you might deem as not what you wanted are the ones that give it character and give it more substance. I'm not a robot, and I don't, it's nice to have that hand touch. The person's been there. So those things show that it's not a computer that you press go, it's done. It's not like that. It's a real person creating real work.
Absolutely. And I think the more we're surrounded by pre-made things and bulk, just bulk everything, bulk furniture, everything looks the same. All the art looks the same. I think people are so hungry for something that's different and authentic and just unique, because we're all wired very differently, very specifically and uniquely. But yet we all try and fit this mold, which, I don't know, it just drives me insane when I look at society. Everyone's trying to be like a certain person, but yet I think the moment you embrace really your unique design, that's where the magic happens, isn't it?
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. That's exactly where it comes. You want to be, you just need to be yourself. And I think that's where you find the most happiness and joy, is when you know that you can relax, let go, and just be who you are and just go with it.
Absolutely. I think we'll definitely have to catch up over a coffee sometime, hey, in person. I think we can just...
I would love that. I mean, we could talk forever, couldn't we?
Oh, that's awesome. So, so tell us about your art. How long have you been doing this full time?
So I've only been doing it full time since like lockdown.
Right.
So I've been doing art for years now. I think I was looking back at the date, was it 2014 or something? I started out creating my artwork, but artwork was always my side gig. I worked full time as a graphic designer, and I did that for 18 years. And so I worked as an in-house designer for a company for the last 3 years. As the in-house designer, and we managed different malls, shopping centres and property developments, and I absolutely loved doing that, and especially doing the lookbooks and stuff for fashion and gift guides for Christmas. I absolutely adored it. And graphic design came second nature. I could kind of do it in my sleep. But my heart was always in the art, and so I would get up early in the morning or on the weekends, and sort of it just happened. It was my release at the end of the day. And fast forward to October of last year, I decided it was time for myself to go out freelance again as a graphic designer, and I could then do a bit of my art as well, which is a win for me because I love my art. And so graphic design, pays the bills. And it was natural, something I knew how to do, and it was going all well, but my heart really wasn't into it as it should be. I had the great clients, great projects, everything was wonderful with it, but I still wasn't inside my heart. I really just wasn't feeling it. But I mean, that was the path I set on, and I need to contribute to the family, and that was sort of the path. But then you fast forward to lockdown, and everything sort of got put on hold in the graphic design front, and I was homeschooling my daughter as well, like everywhere around the country, and I had a bit of time to actually delve into my sketchbooks with a lot of the work that I've done from the 100-day challenges and Inktober's over the years. Sat in my book for 2 years and sort of collecting dust, and I opened them up and I was like, well, I've got a bit of time now, don't I? So I started working on them and putting them out, and they were really well received, and my heart was flying, and I was absolutely adoring it. And then then with the graphic design, as it hit back, and I just still wasn't really feeling it. And then I thought that basically as an artist, and it was always my side gig, I believed that I could never make it into a career. And because I said you can never, I didn't take any action, no action whatsoever to pursue it. Everything sort of happened organically. I mean, I was still doing my Instagram and I had my online shop, but in terms of energy, as in reaching out to retailers or reaching out for collabs, anything sort of, you know, because I was so busy doing graphic design, that's where the business focus was at. And so, yeah, in a nutshell, I decided, well, if you say you can't do it, you will never do it. How about say you are doing it?
There we go.
And take massive action and do it. So that's where I'm at. Oh, and feel the fear and do it anyway. I was scared, and that made me not do anything. So yes, you are going to be scared. Do it though.
Do it, exactly. That's so true. It's funny because it's very similar with me. So when we moved here, so just before we moved, I had a job creation. I started a job creation project in South Africa where I taught people lots of different arts and crafts, and we did baking and all sorts of things so that they could generate an income. But I've always been creative, and the moment I touched pewter, that was it. That was like, I knew this is a love affair for life. It just stole my heart. And so I've been doing that roughly since about 2012. So it's been a while, but never pursued it seriously. It was always, like you say, you know, it's a side gig, and it was a fun way of making gifts for friends and family and so forth. So they always got it. But yeah, so then when we came here and I started talking to people and telling them what I did, no one had a clue. They're like, what's metal embossing? What's pewter? So I started doing classes to teach other people how to do it. And then last year, roughly this time, around about June, July, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the plunge and see if I can get an online course going, you know, an online, teaching people online. So that's basically where it was at until lockdown. So I created so many pieces during lockdown, and like, it's all over the house. And I thought, you know what, it's a bit more than gifts now. I can probably start, seeing if I can sell something or whatever. And then every time I go onto that New Zealand made art page, I just see people like you and like Bex Allen, who I interviewed last week with her designs. And I thought, oh man, I'd love to do collaborations with other artists. So it's a brand new journey that we're embarking on. But I'm so excited for what's ahead, because it feels like all the dots are suddenly connecting.
It feels very natural.
It does.
And the way you bring my artwork to life, and the detail that you capture in it, and you know how you put it together and then spin it to your art, it just seems to me like a match made in heaven. Like,
it does, right?
It's just so it makes sense together.
It does. It really
It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it just, did you hear my, okay. Just visually, I was just like mind-blowing. That's all I could say when I got so excited. Your work is just mind-blowing, and I think I've never seen something like it before, and it's just so beautiful. And I just loved watching your process videos, the way you do it too. The whole thing is just so beautiful and fascinating to me.
Thank you. I thought I'll share it with you. I haven't framed it yet. So there we go.
Wow.
In real life, that's what it looks
like. So beautiful. And just the level of detail that you get in there as well.
Yeah,
it's amazing. You're really a master of your craft. It's amazing.
Well, right back at you, because I just love this design, and I can only bring the detail out that's already there. So, and I just love the intricate, I don't know if you can see this. Oopsie, let me just try and, I mean, all those little bits and pieces inside the leaves. Hang on, let me try and get it like that. The detail in this design is just incredible. And I had so much fun bringing it out and just raising it to different levels. But it's so fun being sort of in your mind, like the way you created your design and you put it together. I loved every moment of it. It was such a great project.
Yeah, and I just loved I loved every moment of watching what you did, your process as well. But I think why it's so special too is it first existed in the most special place to me. So the whole piece is just so special. And now connecting with you, and now that you've made this beautiful piece of art further out of it, it just makes it even more special. The journey that this piece of art has brought.
Yeah, it's really been special. It's been an absolute joy connecting with you, and just your positivity and the way you just radiate joy and peace and calm. I love that about you. And yeah, it was interesting how we chose this piece, because I think I always leave the final result up to the artist to tell me which design to go for. So I'll have an idea and I think, okay, you know, it'll look amazing, but then I let you choose, you know, the one that we actually go for. So with this, basically, because it was at your favorite spot, and it connects all those dots, the nature and the mindfulness and all of that.
It was drawn from the most beautiful view. It's absolutely stunning there, and yeah.
So cool. So yeah, so Anna and I might have some news that we might do further collaborations. So this all started from some comments and things on her Instagram page. I mean, we literally didn't know which direction this would take. It started off as a one-time collab, and then yeah, your audience started asking questions about buying things and having more of those. So
yeah, so how many? They were like, so how many are you doing? Where do I get it? We said how much, and I'm like, oh, we did this for fun. We just wanted to do this. Oh, why don't you talk to her? How many is there going to be? And I was like, oh, and I know that they're so beautiful, and just the feedback and the response and the kind words of encouragement from everyone just means so much to me, and I'm sure to you too. It's just been so lovely, and so that's why I thought maybe we could do more. And because I love what Nanette's done, and just the way we've connected too, we sound very similar, and the similar sort of personalities that just sort of connect together on that sort of level as well. So it's pretty interesting. And just from two strangers, I'm in Auckland, you're in Tauranga, is that right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the New Zealand Products page, we would never have met. And what else blows my mind, I was very scared to post on that page in the first place. So
the level of work.
Yeah, anyway, and yeah, so if I'd never posted, we would never know each other.
Whoa. I love that. I love these divine appointments, divine connections, you know, just the way your life intersects someone else's and then magic happens. It's beautiful. Yeah, so literally you sent me a voice note this morning asking, you know, would it be a possibility for future collabs? And I immediately jumped in and said, yes, absolutely. So yeah, watch this space. There might be some more. I'd love to do your other designs, so we'll take it step by step and we'll see what evolves from there. But it'll be a limited edition, that's for sure. So
you're not a machine.
No.
Yeah.
They'll be very, very special. Hey. Yeah, because it's got a piece of your heart and a piece of my heart, and yeah, this is just this beautiful collaboration. So I'm very excited for what's to come. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on today? Anything else you wanted to share with us, Anna?
No.
You sure?
They talk slots. No, I just think I just like to say, yeah, it was an absolute honour that you reached out to me to do this collab, and yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled with it, and it's just so exciting. So I'd like to say thank you for messaging me. At first, you did go into my Facebook junk folder. So I think you said that's why it took a while to get back to you, because it put you straight in there, so I didn't see it. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, what? Wow. Yeah. So it's always important, everybody out there too, to check what's in your Facebook spam folder, because there's goodness in there too.
It is, because it's funny you say that. I don't know what's going on with Facebook's algorithms, but a lot of people have been messaging me, and like months later, I discovered this message somehow in a junk folder or something. I'm like, what's up with that?
Yeah, exactly. So that happens to me too, and it can pop up like ages later with a notification about it, like real late, and then you're like, what? It's crazy. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's happening.
I'm very happy that you discovered me in the junk folder.
Yeah. doing the donut folder, and I was like, hey, what's this? And I'm just, yeah, like I love trying new things. And when I saw your beautiful work, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. No, the honor is all mine. It was an absolute joy collabing with you. And this design is very, very special to my heart. It'll be a hard time selling it. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I'll post all the links to where people can hook up with you on social media. I'll post all of that in the link of the video, and then also share it on social media. And really looking forward to the rest of the journey. I'm very excited to be doing this with you. It's an honor to meet you and an absolute joy to be able to connect with you, even though it's, you know, via technology, but yeah, all good.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much, Anna.
Welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.